Hi everyone, I'm Marbozir, and today I'm going to take a look at Invisible Ink, a new game by Klei, company behind games such as Shank, Mark of the Ninja or Don't Starve. This game, however, is not quite like those three. It's a turn-based game. It's a turn-based tactical stealth game, or in other words, it's an XCOM style game focused on stealth. It also relies on procedural generation, so all the maps in the game are randomly generated, which has its advantages and disadvantages. It definitely increases replayability a lot. The game is currently in early access. I know a lot of people are wary of early access games. I'm exactly the same myself. But Klei is one of the companies that does early access right, I would say, as, let's say, Don't Starve demonstrated. So, let's go straight into the game then. I will say that even though Invisible Ink is not quite done, because it's still in early access and it's still being developed, it's already a lot of fun and it's a very solid game already. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing future development. Having said all that, let's get started. The game currently has two gameplay modes. Story mode, which is basically a mini campaign. You play a series of missions and then you get to do a final mission if you survived long enough. Once you complete the story mode at least once, you will unlock endless mode. There's also a tutorial, which is pretty good, but I won't be playing the tutorial here. I will explain the basics when I start playing. So, story mode. You play a squad of 2 team members, 2 agents. There are currently 4 different agents. When you first start playing story mode, you only have access to 2 of them. In this case, that's Deckard and International. And you can unlock Shalem 11 and Banks through experience. You get experience simply by playing story mode. When you die, or when you actually complete the story mode successfully, you get experience based on how well you did. You always get some experience, so you will unlock these characters eventually. Anyway, each of these characters has its own flavor. They have their own unique abilities. They start with slightly different equipment, slightly different ability levels. And so, for example, Deckard starts with 2 points in stealth. You can raise these skills at the end of missions by spending money. I can't actually show you the exact effects because there's no tooltip. You can only see that at the end of the mission when you get to spend money to increase them. Then you can see what exact effects these levels have. But in this case, stealth, for example, gives you extra action points, and some of these also allow you to use some of the items in-game. Because there are items that you can find or buy in-game, and some of these items would require you to have, let's say, Hacking 2 or Anarchy 4. If you don't have that skill, you will not be able to use that item. Anyway, I'll go over each of these characters very quickly. So Deckard starts with 2 points in stealth, which gives him 1 extra movement point. He also starts with a personal cloaking device, which allows him to go invisible for 1 turn, but you can't use this while you're being watched by a guard. Every character starts with a neural disruptor, which is an item that allows you to knock out a guard. Every character starts with that. Next up we got Shalem 11, which is the only character who starts with a rifle. The rifle also has armor piercing, which allows you to take down armored enemies. The default neural disruptor does not work on elite armored guards. He also starts with a bigger inventory, and he has a weaker version of the neural disruptor with 5 turn cooldown instead of 3 turn cooldown. Next up we got Banks, which is probably my favorite character. She has an ability that allows her to unlock security doors without a pass card. You normally need to steal a pass card from a guard, but she doesn't have to do that. She can unlock all security doors without a pass card. That's quite nice. She also starts with a custom paralyzer, which basically extends the KO time on knocked out guards by 3 turns. And she also starts with 2 points in Anarchy. The main effect of Anarchy, other than Anarchy skill being required for some items, is that you can steal more money from guards. The level 2 of Anarchy allows you to steal from guards without having to knock them out. For the levels increase the amount of money that you get to steal. And I already explained the card. We also have International, who has an ability that allows her to scan for electronics and access computers within 5 tiles. She can detect electronics in other rooms, for example, on the other side of the wall, areas you normally wouldn't be able to see. And she starts with 2 points in hacking. Higher hacking skills are required to use some of the hacking items in the game. So, I normally like playing with banks, because this is an awesome ability that allows you to unlock security doors, especially considering all levels are randomly generated, so sometimes you will have security doors but no way to get a passcard easily at your starting location. And I'm going to pick, let's say, Shaylem, because that's the second character that has to be unlocked, so I can show off characters that aren't available right at the start. There are 2 difficulty modes, easy and normal, but these are more like hard and harder. Easy definitely doesn't mean easy. This is not a descriptive difficulty. Alright, let's get started then. So, how does this work? In story mode, you have 22 hours to do as many missions as possible, and once 22 hours are up, you will get to do the final mission. Assuming you actually survive that long. This is actually a bit of an awkward start, because my team, my agents are located right here in Europe, and each of these locations will have travel time. I can travel to Australia, which will take 12 hours. I can also travel to North or South America, which will also take 11 hours at least. So this is a little bit unfortunate. Each of these locations have security level, which right now are guarded or very guarded. The main difference between guarded and very guarded is that very guarded locations will have at least 1 elite guard, from my experience. Elite armored guard. So if you don't have anything, any items that will allow you to take down armored guards, going for a very guarded location can be a bit of a gamble. It's definitely a good idea to start just with guarded and maybe secure a stronger neural disruptor. You can buy a stronger neural disruptor that will affect armored guards from stores. Right, well, I'll go for Santa Cruz, for example. Now, this travel time is important. You need to kind of plan your route, because after 24 hours, security level will increase everywhere. So, guarded locations will turn into very guarded, and very guarded will turn into heavily guarded. After 24 hours, you will generally not have any locations that are just guarded. You will have new missions. So you will have new locations that you will be able to infiltrate after 24 hours. So let's go here. When you first start a mission, Central gives you a bit of a backstory, a little bit of flavor behind the area. So let's get started. Now, the way every mission works, at least right now, is that you don't have a specific objective. Your most basic objective is to get out. And in order to get out, you need to find an exit elevator, which can be pretty much anywhere on the level, because levels are randomly generated. The general objective is to steal as much money as possible before you get out, or complete other random objectives that might appear on the level that will also give you more money. So a good example is some levels can have prisoners that you can free. So if you free a prisoner and bring him to an exit elevator, you will get paid by his benefactors. Sometimes you can find vaults with deposit boxes and cultural artifacts, so you can steal them for money. But your objective is to get as much money as possible. And a side objective, which is not an actual objective in game, but a good progression goal, is to get certain items that will make your life easier in the future. So one of the goals is to get something that will allow you to deal with armored guards. Anyway, there's a lot going on the interface, so I'll discuss everything one by one. Now, every agent has action points. That's the number above their head. You don't have to move at once like you do in XCOM, for example. You can use one action point at a time You can move one tile at a time, there's no problem with that. And you often should move one tile at a time because you need to use your action points in the most efficient way possible if you want to not get terribly murdered. Now, one of the most basic mechanics of the game is the ability to peek. You can peek around corners, you can peek through closed doors. So if I want to enter this next room, the safest way to do it is to peek through closed door first, like this. I will see some of the room. Then I can open the door while standing next to it, not directly in front of it. You can open it by standing directly in front of it, but that's usually a terrible idea, because there might be a guard on the other side and then he will see you. And once you open the door, you can peek one more time to see a bigger area. I don't actually have to do it right now, but I'll do it just to show you. I didn't see a whole lot. This is actually an incredibly lucky start, because I have an elevator, exit elevator, right next to my starting area. This is usually not the case. You do not get easy access to the elevator. This is random. Alright, so let's keep moving then. I'll move here. Now this red door right here is another elevator, but this is not an elevator you can use. This is special access. This is where extra guards spawn. Extra guards can spawn when alarm level goes up. That's the meter in the top right corner. Alarm level goes up by one tick at a time every turn. So if I end my turn right now, I'm also going to close the door behind me. And another thing to note is that some actions don't actually take action points, which might be a little bit counterintuitive, but for example, opening and closing doors is not something that requires an action point. You can just do it as many times as you like, as long as you're standing directly next to the door. Anyway, once I end my turn, I'm going to do that right now, the alarm level will go up one tick. When alarm level goes up, I'll talk about power drip in a moment. When alarm level goes up, the area will get progressively harder. So for example, you will get extra guards spawning from these special access elevators. So it's very important to know where exactly special access is, because this is where extra guards will spawn. They don't just spawn randomly on the map. They spawn in special access elevators. Another effect of higher alarm level is that firewall levels will get raised. That doesn't make a lot of sense right now because I didn't discuss hacking yet, but it will make sense once I find something that I can hack. Alright, so let's go through these areas. There's a camera here, but it's inactive. One of the alarm levels activates additional cameras, and this is one such additional camera. It will get activated at higher alarm level. Alright, let's take a look. Now, I could just finish this mission right now by going into the elevator and just leaving, but that wouldn't make a lot of sense. I didn't actually get any money. I can technically do it if I really want to. It would just make no sense whatsoever at the moment. Not a whole lot inside this room. There is a console, which will give me more power. Power is a resource you expend to do the hacking. This is the power meter in the top left corner. I currently have 12 out of 20 maximum power. You can't have more than 20 power at a time. The power drip, right, one at a time. The power drip is a program that you have, which will give you 1 power every single turn. And now, since there's a guard over here, every guard has a vision cone. In this case, he's watching this exact area, but since I opened a door that was kind of in his noticed area, every guard has a double vision cone. He has an area that's watched. If you go into this watched area, he will actually see you and shoot you. So that's not a good life choice most of the time. And he also has this noticed area. So if you do something in his noticed area, he will see that something is going on and he will go investigate that. Right now he can't see me directly, but he can see the door. He's standing right next to the door, so he will come investigate here. You can see that this is marked as interest point. Security is curious about this location. Now, how do I deal with him? I can use an ability called mirror reaction, which is something every character has. and this will automatically use the neural disruptor when a guard moves into my melee range. So I will use melee reaction. If he was facing, let's say, the opposite wall, I could sneak up on him and then use neural disruptor on him directly without having to use melee reaction. Let's end this turn. Now he will move in through the door and I will use my disruptor on him, which does not kill him. He's stunned, so he will be KO'd for 3 turns exactly. That's the number that you can see right here. Now the very important part to know is that if you are standing over a downed guard, the KO timer will not run. So if I keep him pinned by keeping my agent on top of him, the KO timer will not run and he will not wake up. This is a very important mechanic to keep in mind. I can steal his stuff. Now, sometimes guards have access passes. In this case, he did not. But I'm playing with banks who can open red doors, security doors, without a pass card. There are no security doors right now. This is technically a red door, but this leads to special access. You can't actually go through here. Anyway, I can also drag the body. The KO timer will not run when you're dragging the body, since you are technically also standing on top of it. So I can dump the body in this room. This seems to be a dead end, and he will wake up. And I will close the door behind me, and he will never know anything happened. Alright, let's explore a little bit more. Now, this seems to be a dead end. I know where the elevator is. So let's explore this area a little bit more. I'll end the turn. Alright, and now I will take a peek. Here's another special access. This seems to be a really big room, and there is a guard right here because I can see that someone is patrolling the area. This is basically footsteps that you can hear. Alright, I still can't see a whole lot. I will probably wait here 1 turn. That seems to be the safest way to handle this. I could move into the room, but then if that guard moves towards me, he will see me and potentially shoot me. I can even close the door, so he won't see if anything is going on. I'll drop the body, but since I'm not going through here just yet, I will stand on top of the body to stop the KO timer for 1 turn. So now we have alarm level 1, which doesn't have any effect just yet. Here comes the guard. So now I can open the door to alert him, and he will come to investigate this. I'll use melee reaction and wait. This will take 2 or 3 turns because he will not move all the way. I'll just wait 1 more time. I'll close this door. It doesn't use an action point. Alright, keep melee reaction. Skip 1 more turn. Now he will come in here and I will be able to disable him. There we go. Did he have anything fun on him? Let's steal his stuff. He has a pass card, so I can load that pass card with Shalem. Banks doesn't need a pass card. She can open security doors without that. Let's keep looking around. Alright, so let's discuss hacking. I actually have something that I can hack, which in this case is the laser panel. You enter hacking mode by clicking this option right here, incognita mode, which is basically hacking mode. Or you can press spacebar, which is what I usually do because, you know, it's faster. Right, I can't actually see the laser panel to hack it. And while hacking is not range restricted, you need to fully discover the object that you want to hack, which in this case I didn't. Not yet. Alright, let's get out of here. I will close the door. I could dump this body in this room as well, which is not a terrible idea. I will take the pass card for sure. Alright, let's drag this body into this room that other guard is in. That's a good idea, and I will dump them both in there. Move in here. I can drop the body on the next turn. I can't drop 2 bodies on top of each other. So, can we talk about hacking yet? I need to move closer. Take a peek. There we go. Alright, now when I enter incognita mode, I have these red numbers. These are firewall levels. So I do have a lockpick 1.0 program, also a power drip, which is a program, is a passive program that gives me 1 power point per turn. But the lockpick 1.0 program is what you use to break firewalls. And as you can see, it will cost me 2 power to break 1 firewall level. These firewall levels go up as alarm level increases. So it's a good idea to hack as many things as possible while the firewall levels are only at level 1. I will use the lockpick 1.0 and hack all of these things. This is a corporate safe. You can hack into corporate safes and then loot them. There's usually money inside, sometimes items. And we have a console database. This will reveal all consoles on this level. So I can see there's a console right here. I can also see a console right here, which is a room I've already been in. That's right, okay. So if I need more power, I can go to any of these and actually grab power from that. Sometimes you don't need extra power, not just from power drip, but by actually hacking these consoles. I might be able to do it right now. I can do it on the next turn. Okay, there's a security door right here, but I definitely want to loot the corporate safes. I can toggle the laser emitter because now that I hacked it, I actually control it myself. And we can dump that guard in the room on the next turn. I'm technically standing on top of the other guard, so that did stop the KO timer. I can stop the KO timer for 2 guards at a time using 1 agent, which can sometimes be very useful. I do it by simply dragging the corpse while standing on another downed guard, and it will stop the KO timer for both. I'll drop the body and actually get out of here, close the door. I can open some of the other doors on purpose to make them investigate that. I will most likely have to deal with them one more time when I go back to the elevator, so I won't be wasting too many action points for that. Alright, let's grab some power. Now, consoles don't give you guaranteed power. Sometimes security can detect you. In this case, I did get +5 power. But sometimes security might detect you, and you will actually have to either spend power to prevent them from seeing you, or your alarm level will increase. We got some money from corporate safe, but we also got unregistered ammunition, which won't be useful for Banks, because she doesn't have a gun, but it will be useful for Shalem, because you can't just reload your rifle like that once you run out of ammo. In this case, that's 2 out of 2 ammo. You actually have to either find ammunition or buy ammunition from stores. It's not free. Alright, there was one more corporate safe on the other side of the room. Let's go grab that, that's a bigger one. And the turn, now we have alarm level 2. Additional security cameras are activated. Now I need to be more careful. There's a security camera in my room. It just activated. It can't see me yet, but I have 1 turn to hack it. If I didn't hack it, I would get detected. If a camera sees you, your security level increases, and the guards might investigate that area. We have another console. No, this is actually a store. So this is a nano fabricator, and here's another additional camera. When cameras are actually active, the area is red. So this area will be highlighted red. Okay, this is a store, nano fabricator. Let's check it out. I can sell some of my items. I can also buy items. We have titanium rods, which deals 1 extra KO damage, which means guards will be knocked out for 1 extra turn. We also have a Volt Disruptor. Now this is a different version of the Neural Disruptor. It's a special version of the Neural Disruptor, which uses power, which can be a really bad thing in many cases, because, you know, you need power to actually hack things, and 5 power is a lot. However, this can actually knock down armor guards. As you can see, it has armor piercing 1. So I could buy this to have something that would allow me to deal with armor guards using Banks. Right now, the only way I have to do something about armor guards is to avoid them or shoot them with Shalem. So I could buy this. For 700 and for 5 power is probably not worth it just yet. It's a pretty tough decision because you might not get a second chance to get an item. with armor piercing, but since I have the rifle, I'm going to pass. I don't think I'm going to sell anything. I could sell my neural disruptor and then buy the Volt disruptor, but then every time Banks knocks out a guard, she will use 5 power, which is really not a good idea. There's also med gel, which can be used to prevent an agent from dying, because when your agent gets shot, he doesn't actually get killed. He's just knocked out. You can use med gel to bring him back. And we also have an incognita program or hacking program, which reveals hidden demons when used. Demons are programs that are installed on firewalls and do nasty things when you break the firewalls. So for example, some demon might completely shut down your hacking abilities for 2 turns, some other program might spawn an extra guard, yet another program might install additional programs. Yo dog, I heard you like programs. But yes, demon programs are almost always bad. They don't have any positive effects. Sometimes their effects might not really affect you, sometimes they will be very nasty. Alright, there is a console here, and I only have 11 power. I might as well hack that. So we'll break into that, get more power, and I might leave this door open. I won't be coming back here, so getting guards to investigate this might be beneficial for me. Let's not go too far away from the elevator, so I'll stick around. You can explore 100% of the zone, but the area will get progressively more dangerous as alarm level goes up. Right now, alarm level 2 is not a big deal, but once you get additional guards and enforcers, it will be much harder to not get killed. The maximum possible alarm level is 6. At alarm level 6 you will have a very bad time. Alright, you have more ammunition, and we have corporate intelligence, which will give you more money at the end of the mission. Now, I don't have enough inventory space to loot any of this, but I can pay to upgrade my inventory, and I'm probably going to do that. I would say it's worth it, because I'll need to upgrade my inventory anyway. Alright, let's get out of here. I looted all the corporate safes. This was not a safe, this was a console database. And now we still got Shalem. I could investigate this room right here. Might be worth checking out. One of the guards woke up, so I need to be careful about that. There's another guard in here, and there's a security camera. I might knock him out. Let's use melee reaction. This guard might come here and see me, so this is a little bit dangerous. But hopefully I will be fine. Let's end the turn. Here he comes. Alright, nope, he's investigating the other rooms because I left some of the doors open. So this is how leaving some doors open can be beneficial for you, because the guards will investigate that first. Alright, this guy is not moving. There's another camera in this room, let's take a peek. Yes, there's one more security camera, which is why this is highlighted red, even though the guard is not looking this way. I'll hack that and knock this guy out. So takedown. He might have some money and some items. He has a pass card, which I don't need, but he had some money. Alright. I can hack the console and stand on top of him to stop the KO timer. And I think we need to get out of here now. Yep, we are only at alarm level 2, but I don't want to take too many risks, so I'm going to get out. I could still check this one side room, I suppose, so let's do it real quick. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything in here. Yep, that's pretty much an empty room. There's one more door in there, and there's a security door. So I could go through here. It doesn't really make a difference, because I can disable the laser barrier. Alright, let's get out of here. I need to deal with these other guards, but my disruptor is on cooldown for 5 more turns. And now, this is an interest point for security. I think I want to stay in this room and wait for Banks. Yes. That's definitely a safer way to do it. I wouldn't want Shalem to get killed. I could use Overwatch on Shalem and actually shoot a guard, which I might do. Also, one thing I didn't mention is that if guards actually shoot you, you're dead. You're dead. Your agents can't face tank or dodge bullets. They get killed, or they get downed. They don't get literally killed. You can bring them back with med gel. But this game is one shot, one kill. Alright, it's really tempting to investigate this side room. But Shalem needs help, so I need to go there and help him out. Alright, let's go there. And take a peek. Alright. I'll use melee reaction. Using melee reaction doesn't actually cost you an action point. You can do it for free. I used Overwatch just in case this guard actually comes in. I wouldn't want to kill him, but I might not have any other choice. Alright, can I take him down? No. I'll use melee reaction still. I should be able to take him down on the next turn. Okay, he's moving in. And I killed him. Alright, I probably didn't have to do it with banks this close. But as you can see, this increased alarm level by 2 ticks. So actually killing guards is the last resort. I generally don't do it unless I have to. He didn't have anything on him because that's a guard I already looted before. Let's check this area. Are there some cameras? Yep, now this camera has firewall level 2, which means I'll have to use 4 power to disable it. I could still use Overwatch. I do have quite a lot of extra ammo, so I could just kill this guy. I don't think it's worth it, however. I'm just going to wait. I can deal with him. My neural disruptor will be available on the next turn. He's investigating that other room. This dude woke up, so I want to get out of here. I will close the door behind me. So, yes, we can deal with this guy. Shalem can actually do it using his salvage neural disruptor. So melee reaction. We'll go in here with banks. Close the door behind us. I didn't investigate this entire level, but you don't actually have to do it, as I already said. You can investigate 100%, explore everything, but then it will be harder to actually get to the elevator. The game is procedurally generated, so sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder, depending on where things are. Now we're on alarm level 4, and we are getting additional security guards. And as you can see, they spawned in special access area. Now I can finish this mission by leaving through the elevator. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. You need to bring both of your agents to the elevator if you want them both to leave. You can leave one of them behind, but that's generally not a good idea. If you actually lose an agent, the game won't be impossible, but it will be much harder, since you just lost 50% of your squad. Let's escape. Now, we got 785 credits, we got 100 for corporate intelligence, and we explored 82% of the map. And now, I can use that money to upgrade my stealth, hacking, inventory or anarchy. But I also use money to buy things from in-game stores, so you need to balance this. There are a lot of important items that are worth having, so it's a good idea to keep some money. But I might upgrade my movement, since more movement is usually more everything. I sometimes like to upgrade my anarchy on banks, because then you can steal more credits. So as you can see, plus 25% more credits. It's worth getting it right at the start. So I can do that. And then I could increase my inventory if I want to. But you can increase your inventory during the mission. So I don't need to do it right now. Okay, mission selection. Now I'm in South America because that's where I was doing the mission. I have 61 hours remaining. We are still on day 1. Security level will increase everywhere once I hit day 2. So I can travel to Vancouver and I will be on 21 hours. So I will have the time to do one more mission after that. However, I'm going to finish this brief, or maybe not so brief, introduction to Invisible Ink. As I already said, this game is currently in early access. If you are interested, there will be a link somewhere in the description below. It's a very fun game already. There's a lot that I didn't actually show you in this short video. I will play the game more on the channel. It's a very fun game and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I will say that if you're a person who gets easily frustrated by random generators, so if you get easily frustrated in games that rely entirely on procedural generation, a good example of such game was FTL Faster Than Light, which isn't exactly the same genre as this, but sometimes procedural generation can lead to situations that are maybe not impossible, but very difficult to overcome. If you get frustrated by that, Invisible Ink might be a slightly frustrating game for you at times, but if you get motivated by that and if you are eager to try again after meeting some obstacles, then this game is a lot of fun. I'm definitely enjoying it a lot. So, I will probably start some kind of series on the channel in the near future, but this video is done now. I hope you enjoyed this introduction to Invisible Ink, and I'll see you next time.